Carol Vorderman announced on Wednesday that she was being sacked from her BBC Radio Wales role, after her outspoken social media posts about the British government breached the broadcaster's new impartiality guidelines. Carol Vorderman has broken her silence following the news that she will no longer front her Saturday morning show on BBC Radio Wales, and has made it clear she's not backing down on her stance against the Tory government. Taking to Twitter last night, she told her more than 895,000 followers that she was bowled over by the support she'd received since stepping down. "From my heart, thank you for your overwhelming support today. Just bowled over by it. You're so wonderful. Genuinely thank you," the 62-year-old wrote. It'll now increase calling out this disgusting Tory government with facts data which the right-wing media fails to publish. The new social media guidelines would have meant Carol could neither endorse nor attack any politician or political party during her radio show's run, or in the 2 weeks before and after it, and she would have been obliged to abstain from any political debates too. The news that Carol is leaving the BBC follows a previous row over Gary Lineker's comments, after he compared language used in British immigration to that used by Germany in the 30s, although he has now been reinstated. Carol, who was vocally supportive of her fellow BBC star at the time, has now been inundated with messages from some fans, congratulating her for standing up for her beliefs. At Chris Nash 1 wrote, "I wish you all the very best. Your passion and much-needed voice ought not to be muzzled by the biased and suffocating government-led agendas of the at BBC News, who will even turn on their own as they have with you. Mainstream media holds way too much power and the everyday men and women need a voice." At Ardent_student added, "Where is the freedom of speech? Outrageous what the BBC get away with and hide behind policy." At CrazyPotato chimed in, "Impressed with you, Carol. Glad to know there are still people with a spine who will stand for what they believe." There were even calls for Carol to step away from the media to become an MP instead, with that oldish bird one adding, "It's brilliant to see someone with your profile being so vocal about the failings of the government. Don't underestimate how important that is and what hope it gives to those who feel powerless." Celebrity support for her over on Instagram came from Katie Piper, who declared her an icon. Along with Denise Welch, Denise Van Outen, Carol's I Am a Celebrity co-star Ashley Banjo and Drag Race's Michelle Visage, who wrote, "Adore you endlessly." They stars were commenting in response to yesterday's social media post, when Carol announced exactly why she was leaving the show she'd hosted for the past 5 years. "The BBC recently introduced new social media guidelines which I respect. However, despite my show being lighthearted with no political content, it was explained to me that as it is a weekly show in my name, the new guidelines would apply to all and any content that I post all year round," she wrote. "Since those non-negotiable changes to my radio contract were made, I've ultimately found that I'm not prepared to lose my voice on social media, change who I am, or lose the ability to express the strong beliefs I hold about the political turmoil this country finds itself in. My decision has been to continue to criticize the current UK government for what it has done to the country which I love, and I'm not prepared to stop. I was brought up to fight for what I believe in, and I will carry on. Consequently, I have now breached the new guidelines and BBC Wales management have decided I must leave. We each must make our decisions," she explained. "I'm sad to have to leave the wonderful friends I've made at Radio Wales. I wish them, and all of our listeners, all the love in the world. We laughed a lot, and we will miss each other dearly. But for now, another interesting chapter begins."